everybody. This is the Google News Update, episode 12. This is your host, Mike Bennett, Mike Baker. What's going on, everybody? How you feeling, man?
I'm out here chilling, man. You know, same. What's been going on for the past this past month, man, with this coronavirus stuff, man. Coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever. I'm just trying to stay low. And I ain't trying to get infected. Yeah.
Trying to stay healthy.
I don't think it's good. I still feel like there's a little bit of fugazery going on with this because I ain't see they talking about people dying and stuff, and I'm like, I ain't really, I need to see some names or something like that, bro. Like, when the whole Ebola virus thing was going on, they had people's faces splashed. They were like, "You seen this person? Stay away from them." Like, no, talk to them. Gotta come and get touched. You don't see none of that. It's kind of like, all right, we got statistics. All right, 3,000 people been affected, 29 died.
Oh. Yeah. True indeed. I mean, it's really just a lot of media hype for real. I mean, and a lot of it's, especially nowadays that we are deep into social media. There's a lot of social media hype going on, and I mean, I think that's really the thing. I think it's really just the social viral spread in comparison to the actual viral spread. I mean, it went around the world on social media in like 20 minutes, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see over the next couple weeks because it just got to Baltimore. It just really hit America over the past week, so we'll see if it actually do something or if it's just another thing that's just out there. Wow. I mean, we still got the swine flu, we still got the bird flu out there, people. So I mean, if y'all just starting to be healthy, y'all need to really catch up.
Well, y'all got different problems, man. If you're just getting healthy, man.
I mean, if you really just focusing on it, like y'all need some vitamins in your lives or something. But yeah, man, this is the Google News Update, and as always, we got a Google News. In particular, this week we got news talking about the recent thing that happened. Well, it actually just happened like Thursday, Friday with Trump, talking about the press conference that he released. And the article that we have for him is, in contrary to Trump's claim, Google is not building a nationwide coronavirus screening website. They are building something for this COVID-19 thing, but it's not like an international database that everybody can go to right now to figure out who got coronavirus or not. But we'll talk about more of that. Its second topic that we have is that G Suite is now used by 2 billion people. Article topic says Google G Suite now has 2 billion users, which is interesting. It's good to see. It's probably, they probably like fudging the number somewhere here and there, but I mean, it's probably basically kind of true. But the last topic that we have is that Google's next streaming player will reportedly run Android TV and come with a remote. Basically, they have their own streaming service now, a streaming player now. If a lot of, I know in my house, most of my televisions, I have like 2 TVs. They both are hooked up with Chromecast, and Chromecast haven't necessarily ever really been the big seller. Most people either use a Fire Stick, they use Roku, or they use Apple TV. But now Google is about to recreate their device and put Android TV on it and push out a new streaming player. So we'll talk about more of that as well. But this first topic, that's not the topic. The first topic that we have is that contrary to Trump's claim, Google is not building a nationwide coronavirus screening website. Like I said, if y'all saw that shamble of a press conference that Trump did the other day, he basically was just he was attempting to dampen the fears that people were having about this corona outbreak and trying to, as presidents are supposed to do. He's trying to mitigate the community's fears and try to help everybody throughout America understand the situation, and he completely messed that up completely. But while doing that, he also blurted out that Google is going to be creating a nationwide database for the government, as if it was something that he partnered up with Google to do, to be able to identify, essentially as a directory to identify when or who has the coronavirus, or like who has actually been tested for the coronavirus. It's kind of true, but it definitely is not. A sub company, like a child company to Google, or better yet, like Alphabet, company by the name of Verily, who actually deals in bioinformatics and data science for like medical services. They've always been involved in this type of stuff anyway. That's basically their whole business model, is working with molecules, microbes, biology, and in particular, they've been working on trying to create a database for viruses in general, and in particular, they're trying to use the same database system, the same application, to build out something for the coronavirus, so that you at least find out people that have been triaged, as they say, or screened with whether they actually have the coronavirus, or if they've been dealt with or diagnosed with coronavirus, or if they're actually in the process of trying to find some type of medical cure for the coronavirus. There is no cure necessarily, but at least trying to find some way to find a cure. But Verily is working on that. And one of the main things that they pointed out is that they are in the early stages. When they say they're in the early stages, usually that means they haven't even started building anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're in the early stage. Yeah, I didn't build nothing, man. That's what that means.
I mean, they basically just like, bro, we are looking into it. We like everybody else. We just really, this thing came up on everybody out of nowhere. So like, if it is what it is, we're looking into how we can do it. We already study this. So it will be it'll help the fact that we're involved in this in the first place, but it's still early, bro. We can't work overnight. They're not magicians. They're not magicians. And Trump was really trying to really just push this as to, one of these other things to ease people's fears, to be able to say, no, we got one of the largest information companies out in the world, Google, working on something like this. And along with the CDC and the rest of the government, we got things going on. I mean, like, part of this is kind of problematic because, just, I don't really want to get political, but like, there has been a lot of fundings cut from the CDC in the first place that could like help with this and resolving these issues. And like, there's been mention of how some of these practices should have been taken, like precautions should have been done way ahead of time, not involving Google, but just involving the government and the CDC. Some of the stuff should have been taken ahead of time, but it's happening now. And, Trump is a salesman.
Yeah.
Trump's whole point is to try to have a pitch, even though he's like one of the worst salesmen. I don't know. It's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard. Like, how is he? He's like the worst salesman, man, but he is fucking selling.
Like, you cannot know. This is in sale, exactly. It's the person that has. This is what it is, because you can be saying a whole bunch of bullshit, but the person that has a stronger frame and more confidence always wins. Yeah. I feel like that's what, if it's nothing else, that's what Trump excels at. Is just really not giving a fuck, man. Like, he really does not care. And because he does not necessarily, when they say not to care, he doesn't really care too much about what people thinks. And just from that frame alone, it's like, it pulls you in. At least those who want to listen, it pulls them in and makes people, I guess, the lowly want to follow him. Man.
Oh, he must be on to something, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not optimistic on that. I don't have no real positive feels for him, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I was saying I think really this is a play on. This is 2020, so this is election year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we already it's just hopping into the conspiracy. That's what I am, man. I conspiracize stuff, but just hopping into that bag, like, you just know, like, you gotta look at what's going on, look at the full landscape, man. Even with all the promotion, because this coronavirus stuff, man, it's just a lot of promotion behind it. Everything is going on. And I think that with Trump making this statement, I mean, it just goes into him trying to position himself as the better candidate to vote for coming up in this election. And you got to think that with these people, especially with Trump, I think they said like a couple of weeks after he was elected as the president, the first time he started campaigning already for the next presidency. So I think it's just being just like any businessman that is smart, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent what they're doing. It's a smart thing always to just be open to the opportunity to have the advantage, right? When you can take the advantage or when you can gain something, right? Not missing out on opportunities. And I think that's pretty much what it is. That's why Google had to come back and make that statement like, correction. You're not doing that. Because it's like Trump is just taking the opportunity that whatever comes up, put his name on it and say, yeah, we approve. So it's like, this just gets him more hits. It gets him more hits, and it comes at the expense of Google. It's just what it is. So, I mean, everything was happening with the screening and stuff like that. With I think it's good that, and maybe that's what Trump. I guess a part of the salesman's tactics, right? And it may not be good salesmanship, but kind of embellishing or pushing the envelope when he says that Google's building a whole nationwide corona virus screening website. It's like, nah, Verily, which is they are associated with Alphabet, which is the parent company, are only doing something like this for the Bay Area, right? So
right.
It's just, again, I guess in the scope of this is because we did an article related to this before, as far as people feeling like Trump using his position to either to the detriment of a company and to the benefit of his own. Because remember we was talking about it with Amazon, how Amazon was saying that Trump potentially be saying inflammatory things, saying that influence
the Jedi contract.
Yeah. So I mean, whether we know that or not, I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that with Trump, he is he's all about saying the controversial things in order to position himself as the to position himself as the one that's known the most. I can honestly say that out of all the other candidates for this presidential election coming up, I don't know much about them in respect to how much I know about Trump.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fool, as far as voting and stuff like who going with the hype. But you got to say that I don't really know too much. But they're campaigning. They're not, even if Trump if it comes at the expense of Trump having to sound like a fool. In this instance,
that's the facts.
Yeah,
I mean, that's legitimate Trump nonetheless.
Yeah,
I mean, even in his foolishness, that's 100% Trump. Like he could be an idiot, but that's Trump.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, they got even different con. They got slicker. They even slicker. And you might not even be able to notice when they lying to you. Trump, when he lying.
Exactly.
But that's Trump. And the other thing is that Trump don't. The only time he lies when he can't lie. Yeah, I mean, he lied about shit that he lying about. It's like, nigga, we saw you.
Right.
you can't lie, but you lying anyway.
We saw you down there, man. Okay, you got your little fingerprints on the cookie jar. So like, you got chocolate on your face, man. Come on,
right.
You took the cookie, bro. Like, what you talking about? So yeah, that's where Trump is at. But it's like one of those things where everybody, they kind of always pay attention to the problem child. Make sure and that's what Trump, is just, and again, this comes at the, in this instance, it's like he's just saying crazy stuff just to get him some more heat. Because not other than Google, right? Using to be an opportunist. That's all.
Yeah, perfect. Mean opportunist. Let's go into this next joint, man. It's only so long we can talk about Trump because he just go running. He just runs on and on. But next topic that we have is talking about how G Suite now has 2 billion users. Subtitle reads that G Suite users can also expect Smart Compose to reach more apps beyond Google, Gmail, and Google Docs. I don't know what the relevance of that subhead is, but basically they're just talking about how the fact that G Suite is expanding and it's reaching a lot of more people. And it's one of those things where, people talk about the weekly users are it's some acronyms for it. It's like some marketing acronyms for it, where it's like daily active users and the weekly active users, monthly active users versus like the difference between them and how you actually categorize them. But basically they're saying on a general week, I think they're saying like on a week to week basis, that Google has roughly about 2 billion users using their applications within G Suite. They don't necessarily define like how many people are like paid users versus how many people are free users, but they're just saying in general that roughly about 2 billion users are using it. And then G Suite itself is still about it's like 6 or 7 applications. So it's like it's Gmail, it's Google Drive, it's Google Docs, spreadsheets, and all of these different things. Yeah. But 2 billion users is pretty active in general. So, they always talk about how Facebook has 1 billion users, has 1.5 billion users here and there. It's kind of the same, and it's kind of a good measure, but at the same time, it's kind of a different business model when you think about what people use G Suite for versus what people use Facebook for, and how the apps work differently, and like how you actually get stuff done. I went to a conference a couple months ago where Google was talking about how they have about 8 different apps that are on a regular basis having about 1 billion users. So 8 different applications: Google Drive, Google Mail, Maps, and a couple other things where people it's 1 billion users a month. So, I mean, if you want to put the numbers together with all 8 of those apps, you would say 8 billion users, but then 8 billion users don't even exist online. So likely it's the same users and shit that's over and over again.
Man, that's what I was looking at this thing. I'm sitting there like, I think that, Google is definitely, I know that they're doing their thing, right? Google, everybody loves Google, man. From the search engines to just how smooth their user interfaces are. But I feel like they're kind of pushing the envelope when they say 2 billion weekly, like 2 billion individually, like different users. That's like, that's just saying that 1/4 of the world uses Google.
Right.
And it's like, that sounds a little, because we got to factor in other places that, like people, like places where the internet is not available. Like when we say that 8 billion, like, bro, that's I don't know, man. It seems that's they kind of, I don't really believe it, and I think what they they're kind of pushing the envelope, fudging the numbers, but I think it's probably more accurate to say that G Suite now has 2 billion people who have used G Suite. You see what I'm saying? Not just active users to sound, because it's not enough. It's not enough people. It's not enough people online.
Yeah. Right here it says 2 billion monthly active users. So throughout a month, 2 billion monthly active. So it's still kind of weird because 2 billion is a large number. Like, how do you go from 1 billion to 2 like that? I mean, when it comes to like new people that are getting online, I can see where a lot of it may be coming from, because people that are just getting online for the first time, or people that like are limited to like certain online connections. Like you take like Middle East, take Africa, somewhere, like they don't use like wired broadband as much. They use mobile services more. So they use like 3G, 4G, cellular services way more. So it's likely that, when they first get online, they probably using, even if they use an iPhone or Android, they probably using a Google account. And when it comes to like, creating documents and stuff like that, Word documents, spreadsheets, they are not downloading it. They're probably just signing on to a web browser to get to Google Chrome, get to Google, to G Suite, to save their documents, to save their stuff up there. So I mean, I can see how a lot of it is the new growing community of people that are going to be online could be going, they're incentivized to go toward G Suite because, for one, if you don't pay for the professional version, then you just get it for free. That mean, like, there's no like with Microsoft Word, they used to be like the basic package and then the premium, the professional, and all that stuff. Like, if you just want to use, if you're a normal person in the world that need to just get online and save documents, you can just sign up and use one for free and get it for free. So right. Like, the barrier entry is already nothing. And like, for everybody else, it's really a transitional process where it's like a lot of people have been using Microsoft Office for years and they've been using Outlook, and it's kind of hard for them to transition to a cloud platform. And something like G Suite, they don't have a lot of the same features that Microsoft Office used to have for them. They do have like a lot of important features, but it's always that one Microsoft Word Pro that uses one feature that's in the like file menu that's like 10 menus deep, that got this one feature that they can't find on Google Chrome, on Google Docs, and their whole day messed up, and they need to pay that yearly Microsoft Office fee because
the license key that messed up.
I mean, like, it's one feature, they can't figure it out. I mean, like, nothing else does it. I mean, like, I'm sure it's something out there, but to get them to change their workflow, that's kind of a hard thing. So really, it's really about introducing the new people on. And I mean, I tried to get people to get off of. I quit. Like, if you unless you know that you want to go with G Suite, I don't try to introduce people that are familiar with Office onto G Suite. I just be like, all right, you an Office person. When you ready for G Suite, let me know. For everybody else, I'm just like, hey, y'all want something different? Y'all want something better? Y'all want something that y'all never had that y'all don't have in general? Y'all need email? Y'all need something like that? Don't even get Office. Just holler at me for G Suite. I
think, I want to, like, the thing with, I do notice, and we'll continue at that point, but one thing I do notice with the whole Google Docs thing, and just for me using it recently, is they don't have that feature that Microsoft has when they like automatically correct stuff. At least from I don't know, like, for instance, like, if I was to type "don't" without the apostrophe on Microsoft, like, it corrects it. It puts the apostrophe in there.
Yeah, and that's probably what that subhead was.
Yeah,
that's Mark proposed. Like, that's one. Like, I use professional G Suite. So I use the commercial paid version at work, and I got one at home that I use for my business, and they do have that feature in there. They have where you can just keep typing, and if it recognizes that something is misspelled or spelled wrong, it'll just go and try to rewrite it. But I do also use an extension called Grammarly. So
I found out. See,
Grammarly, because since everything's in the browser, Grammarly just is attached to the browser. So anything that I write anywhere, whether it's in email or docs or whatever, it'll find it and do what it got to do for it. But that functionality is something that they are spinning into G Suite to be native, so that it just worked by default. And it's pretty dope. Like, if you haven't seen it already with like Gmail, you start writing a lot of emails, and it will start recognizing how you write emails.
Yeah, I have noticed that functionality. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you start typing something, and it'll a ghost text will come in and be like, yeah, you just want to say this, right? You're like, I just want, that's all I want to say. Go ahead, write my email for me. Then I'll just press tab, go to the next joint. This is what I wanted to say. Just get me to the important part.
You type get back, and then it finishes to me tomorrow at this time. We're like, that's
wonderful. You read my mind. And like, those features are creepy, but that stuff be like, you know what? That's cool. That's what's up. And Microsoft is definitely going to try to implement those type of functionalities. What they were saying on here is that, like, Microsoft, their Office 365 system has about 200 million users, and that's kind of believable, because when it comes to Microsoft Office, the main platform, they probably got almost 1 billion, if not 1 billion users also. It's kind of harder to get people on when you got to get them to buy the Office software, and then you got to install it on their computer, and then you get them to run it. Like, that's like the barrier. But I mean, there's a lot of people still using Office, but going forward, people are definitely trying to hop onto the cloud version of Office using Office 365. So, I mean, I see that making a progressive jump, because particularly the sales market, like anybody that has bought a version of Office 365, they basically told to use the cloud version instead. Like, they're just being told, yeah, go ahead, try to use the online version. Like, yeah, you got the desktop one, we're going to still give it to you, but we really want you to use this cloud one. We're going to give you OneDrive, we're going to give you terabyte of space. Use it. Yeah, I mean,
every place I've ever worked, Microsoft Office comes standard, bro. Like, I remember last time I've worked anywhere where it was like Microsoft Office. And even now, 365 is not installed or somewhere. Like, it's just, if you got a job, you're using Microsoft Office. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah, and like my firm, like mostly our salespeople use it, and that's because they, like I said, they got a workflow that works for them in it. My production team, they don't use it because they know they can just get away with using using G Suite. And one of the main things is because of Hangouts, because we communicate either through email and or Hangouts. And then when it comes to us sharing documents, it makes it a lot easier for us to have to share stuff. You know, everybody know. Well, if you don't know, you need to be knowing the whole functionality of having a collaborative environment, or having your documents in the cloud and being able to collaborate on documents instead of having to share documents back and forth with a version 2 and a version 5 back and forth. Like, that whole dynamic don't work anymore. But like, for us, we don't do that. My writers, they all use Microsoft. I mean, they all use G Suite, unless it's a rare case where one of them may come in and they don't know how to use G Suite, or they're familiar with Word. So we'll give them Word if they want to. But most of them, they be like, yeah, I'll use G Suite because I can just work from home, and I'll just work from anywhere, and I'll never have to worry about Office. And I just keep all my stuff up there and never have to use a thumb drive and none of that shit. But like, that's I mean, it's two different workflows, and it's kind of one of the things you just gotta get adapted to. But it's good to see that people are using the cloud and they're relying on the cloud more. Hopefully Google doesn't turn evil and turn that shit against all of us. Because that's 2 billion people that be locked out of all their documents. So they'd be like, yo, you know what? We don't want to be in this business anymore. We're just going to keep all your shit and lock you out. all your nudie picture, all them pictures you got your girls. Sorry, bro.
That Google, that'd be painful to the world, man. A Google blackout.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going to Google.com and nothing comes up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yo, that may be like that's an epidemic. Like, what? What's going on?
That's an epidemic right there. Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be a problem.
You go to Google and then a Bing search come up. Like, what's going on?
I should do that to somebody. I should do that to somebody in my job, man. Just mess up change their computer every time they type in Google, Bing come up. Next topic that we got, I'm gonna make this last topic. Don't tell nobody I'm gonna mess up their computer. Next topic that we want to do, last topic of the night, is that Google's next streaming player will be reportedly run using Android TV, and it'll come with a remote. What they don't say is that what it is the Chromecast, which is what everybody may remember when Google came out with a while ago, was the Chromecast, which was basically like a HDMI dongle. It looked like a USB dongle, but it's like HDMI dongle. You plug into the back of your HDMI and it hooked up the Wi-Fi, and it gave you a streaming service, a streaming player. But the main thing was that you had to control everything from your phone. And anything that you wanted to watch, if you had a YouTube, you had Netflix or anything, it was a little button that is on there that you press the button, the casting button, and they essentially will broadcast it out. They created where all of this came from is that they were the ones that actually created a technology called casting. It was a streaming casting technology that they gave out to everybody. And so all the streaming services, YouTube's, all the any Netflix, Hulu, all the streaming services were basically able to take this casting functionality and put it into their apps. And as long as there was a streaming device that could use casting, that, you know, they gave it to the community for them as well. If you could use casting, then you would be able to cast your video. And every company essentially just took a copy of it and ran with it. Amazon, Microsoft, they just gave it to everybody.
Free. Okay.
Yeah, they gave the software to everybody. So they had to build it into their stuff. When it came to the device to buy, Google created the Chromecast. And, you know, all these other companies, Roku created their own device, but it had the casting technology in it. And same thing with the Fire Stick. It had the casting tech in there, but they wrapped it around the Fire Stick and sold it as that. So like it was all there, but the main thing was that, you know, you had to be controlled by your phone, and nobody liked doing that unless you were like embedded in your phone. If you use your phone 24/7, then that's cool. But for the most part, if you like that sit back experience where you can just sit back and pick out a remote, there was no remote option. And that would mess with a lot of people. I know when my parents, I was trying to transition them off of Comcast, and one of the biggest things was trying to figure out how to deal with them having a remote. It was like, how can you get them to use Chromecast, and they got to use their phone for everything. So I ended up getting them Rokus, and that basically been a life changer for them, because now they got a remote, and now they can start using YouTube TV and use Netflix and use Amazon Prime from using a remote, and it's easy for them. It's way easier for them than trying to figure out, I got to go into the Amazon Prime app, and then I got to press cast, and then I got to choose what movie I want to watch. Like that's too many steps.
Like too many steps, yeah.
Yeah. Like I just want to cut the TV on, choose the thing, and watch the thing. Yeah, I mean, so like
cut the television, cut the TV box on.
Yeah, cut the TV box on. Yeah, I mean,
what you see what this is, man, it's really just the Chromecast box. That's just the easiest way to look at it. Like it's I know they try to brand it as something like completely different, but it's really the Chromecast box, where it makes it easier for those a little more archaic in their ways to just enjoy the same service, but with more of a vintage type of feel. You know, that's
it's a step up. I say it's a step up from the original Chromecast, because like when I had my TV on, the Chromecast will play like it'll just show like a picture every 15 minutes. It's just like a screenshot. It's like a slideshow of pictures. But it's no features, it's no functionality. Even like you can't go up on the icon and click the icon or any of that. All of that is done from your phone, and you literally just choosing whatever app from your phone. So like with this, they're gonna have Android TV on there. So basically it's gonna be Android. And it'll run a whole interface so that you can slide through the menu of apps on the TV, and actually it's basically like any other streaming service that's out. It's just they didn't have the whole interface. Like you can get a television that has Android TV installed on there, and that's really about it. It wasn't really a device that you could buy if you didn't have a TV, because one of those things with these TVs, like, you know, these smart TVs, the pros and cons of it is like you get a smart TV, but it's smart for a while, but at some point they're going to do like they do with the phones. They're going to outdate it. I mean, they're going to end the life it. Yeah. So it's like, how about we not put smartness in the TV, keep the price of the TV small, you know what I mean, where it's just a physical device, and you put all the smarts on this little machine. You put it on this box.
Put all the add-ons. You
put it on the add-on. It'll allow you to have your TV, because, you know, we like to have TVs 10, 20 years.
Yeah, like, it's fast.
I mean, like, you can't have a smart TV that can't get no updates. You want to have it for 20 years. I mean, so like, allow me to buy this TV once. I can keep it for 20 years. I ain't got to worry about no updates or anything. All the updates and stuff come in this little box. And when this box get out of date, I just update the box. But they needed a platform for it. And Android TV is that now they'll, instead of putting that on the TV, they'll put it on the box and you play it off the box.
Do you think this is has anything to do with people knowing in the industry that Apple TV flopped? This is conveniently like that both of them are. So we know that there's like a soft war going on between. At one point in time, it wasn't like under the table soft at all. It was head to head. But now it's like the Android versus Apple type of the right? So we already know that Apple TV flopped.
Yeah.
They pretty much canceled everything, right? They said
it's the streaming service though. It's like they got it's the naming convention because Apple don't really name things too much different. They got the Apple TV box, but then they got the Apple TV Plus streaming service. I mean, so like you can have a box and just have like Netflix and Hulu and all the other stuff on there, but not have Apple TV Plus. I mean, like the Apple TV sell. The box sell. Apple TV Plus, the streaming service, that shit is trash. I mean, the streaming service that they give you is bootleg, and like they be giving it away to people just for buying stuff. If you buy an iPhone or you buy an Apple TV, they'll give you like 90 days of Apple TV Plus because they want you to try to pay into it, but don't nobody want it. I mean, right now they can't even record a show because of the coronavirus. I mean, I mean, really, this is competition for Apple TV, the box, and like Roku. What scares me is that this is going to probably eat Roku's lunch. I mean, because a lot of people do have Roku's because they really was the only one that was competing against. Yeah, they were the only one that was actually like. People. Yeah, like there wasn't no like it was Fire Stick, Apple TV, and then Roku. I mean, if you don't want to get one of the big brands like Amazon or Apple, then the only thing you got is the Roku. Yeah. I mean, and nobody wanted nobody. Roku really just had the market, and Roku really ain't got that much money. More than likely, Google probably went to Roku and was like, "Hey, can we buy y'all?" They probably was like, "No." So Google was like, "All right, well, we just gonna come out with Apple TV, and we're gonna take your lunch." You know what I mean?
Crush it.
Yes, I really got, unless Roku got another, something up their sleeve, I got in the next 3 to 5 years, Roku dying out and Android being the one that people buy.
They're going to come out. The way it usually goes is because these companies forecast when they're going to go out of business or be bought. So I think in Roku, they're going to develop some type of look for something that they can make significant that is exclusive for Roku. That even they know it's going to be exclusive, but it's not going to survive. So that one of the bigger companies is going to see that, okay, rather than just completely demolishing their company, we'll buy them out for the specific feature and add it to the service. That's what happens.
Yeah, they got to have some patents somewhere. Yeah. I mean, and Roku does have like a streaming channel. I mean, so like they do have the fallback because if you can get a Roku TV, a Roku box, and like not have any streaming service, but you still got Roku TV for free. Yeah, I mean, so like you can do that, but like if Roku the box actually dies out, they'll still have the streaming service somewhere, and they'll probably put that on other people's streaming boxes. So like Sega when Sega the Sega Genesis died, but then they still making games and shit. So like, I mean, it's still they still got room to make room like to still survive off. But I feel like Google trying to eat at the market again. Like they already are dominant. They kind of push this stuff out there, but it's time for them to take somebody lunch.
Right, that's what it is. Sounds like somebody was rubbing up their mittens, like
like bird man.
It's time.
I mean, whatever. It is what it is. It's Google. I mean, you can't hate on.
Y'all streaming, y'all streaming, or y'all playing stuff online on the cloud? Which one is it?
and actually that's another push for real. That's probably another reason because they say they basically doing the Chromecast Ultra, and you got to have a Chromecast Ultra to be able to do Stadia. Yeah, I mean, so they basically probably trying to turn this into a console too.
They trying to sneak it in there.
Yeah, trying to sneak it in there. You know, like this is just a streaming service. You know, you just hook this up and you got your TV, you got your console, you got all that. I mean, they probably give you 3 months to Stadia and all that. Just try it out, see if you like it. I mean, they got the plans, man. Watch, you gonna see it. It's gonna happen. We're gonna talk about it. But yeah, man, that's it. That's all we got for today. Yeah, man, that's all we got, man. I think I think I'm burnt out, man. We've been doing this for like 3 hours now, getting that money. But everybody that's listening, if y'all like the show, we need to do y'all need to do a favor. You need to subscribe, you need to like, you need to share and comment. You don't need to do none of it. You can kiss my ass. You can tell me to kiss. You can tell me. You can tell me to kiss my ass, but nonetheless, I'm asking you. Go ahead and do those things. But if you do, go ahead and do that, and you can find us on all your streaming services, all your podcast and streaming, Facebook, YouTube for the video. And come check us out, man. We always gonna have topics for y'all. We're gonna keep talking about this tech, keep talking about Google and all the future things, man. Because interesting society that we in, and it's a interesting next couple of years that's going to be ahead of us.
For sure.
Anything you gotta say, Mike?
I'm gonna take it a different route, man. Look,
don't kiss my ass.
Please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all the. You tripping over there? You know what? Kiss my ass. Good night. Yeah, that's how you know it's been a long night.
Blaming on the jack.
Like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Kiss my ass. I'll see y'all next week. Like, no, but also real, yeah, y'all just follow, we have fun with this thing, man. Let's stay tuned, man. We got more stuff coming y'all way, like, comment. Oh, just wanted to throw that out there too. We got some interviews coming with some pretty interesting stuff, man. I got a couple of folks down here that's heavy in the tech industry. A couple of people, I think one of the guys is either he has done or will be doing a TED Talk. Data science, sharp guy. So I'm gonna see if just one of the few things we got coming y'all way. So y'all just stay tuned, man. And as we continue to evolve, we want y'all to evolve with us, man. Get your Charizard on.
Yeah, get it. Y'all take it easy out there.
All right.
Peace.